Hi, Bill Henshaw here again for the Constitutional Crisis Network. This is an extension of my intro on knowing your rights and being able to fight back. Left a few things out in the first one, and we're going to include them here. You're going to love it. Hey, number one, the whole point of this program is to enlighten you, to get the truth out there so that people know it for once. They don't tell you, they sure as hell don't tell you in their mandatory public schools, and not even in most of their institutions of quote unquote higher learning. Hey, that in turn makes you empowered when you know the truth and can go in there and present it timely. This is what's going to get you kind of result that I've been getting because, they're not going to know when they see the paperwork that you'll probably have for me. They can't in their minds be certain that you don't know it as well as I do, but they certainly know that you know someone who does, and they can't afford to take any chances of losing a case like this. Hey, all of this in turn gives you hope. And hope, as Andy Dufresne said, is a good thing, maybe the best of things. And I agree with him 100% about that. It is. Now, the good news here with all the talent that I do have, and it's based on a lot of hard work and ability, it's not that hard to do, but, and the legal stuff I have is that I can talk to you just like we're sitting there across the back fence, sipping some iced tea, but when I get into their quote unquote courts, I speak their language better than they do, and they can't stand it. That's what gets results. And it really does mean when knowledge is power, that's a practical application of it. Now, you are going to have some work to do. You don't get off scot-free here, and you shouldn't, but far less than what I've been pleased to put in over the last 4 decades. But when you learn just a few basics, that's all you need to know. It's not like you have to know or be a legal encyclopedia. In fact, funniest thing, in my first law course 30 years ago, the teacher said during the course of the proceedings that he was surprised how ignorant that the DAs really were. All they seemed to know were the phrase specious, frivolous, and without merit. Later in the course, in the advanced part, we got sent an audio recording from the Idaho Supreme Court where he goes in there and argues what we called the big three at that time: license, registration, and insurance. And it is now, but for different reasons, and you'll get that in later videos. But he stands up for a good 30 minutes, maybe longer, and talks back and forth with the justices, and they ask questions and so forth. He sits down. They called on the DA, the state's attorney in Idaho, actually, who stands up and says that Mr. Gordon's arguments are specious, frivolous, and without merit. He sat down. All there was to it. And the state won this case, but that's because we were using the 14th Amendment issues, which I wouldn't dream of doing these days, and you'll learn a lot more about that later. Now, the other thing that's important here is we're starting out in the traffic court, which is familiar to everybody. It's high or low risk, very high gain. But the issues are good across the board, particularly in quote-unquote criminal cases and in foreclosures. You're going to be absolutely stunned what my research has revealed about this, and these will be subjects for videos in the future. Now, like I say, take some time, do your work. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your family, for your posterity, so they will have a better life. That's the most important motivation I can give you. That said, it's a lot of information. There's no question about it. You will certainly have questions. I have most of the answers here, and you can contact me at my website, ccaspari@live.com, CCASPARI @live.com. I'll answer as many questions as I can, and I'll be happy to do it. Thank you.